Welcome back to another video. So in the previous video I discussed about how I was expecting a price movement from this level here up into these two levels and why that was going to happen. So I'll briefly recap. The reason was because on the 12-hour time frame we have swept a key liquidity level, and from that I was expecting price to go to the nearest next liquidity level where we can potentially distribute the liquidity that was grabbed down here, and that level was up here, and on the 4-hour was right here. And so as we can see, price has ended up going up the whole 3%, and there were all sorts of ways you could have entered this trade. So one of the standard ones that I like to use, if you drop down onto 5 or 15 minute time frame and you go to the initial liquidation, you have a breaker block, and that breaker block is what drove the liquidation. So it's basically a candle that drove the liquidation to this key level down here, and that happened to be this breaker block right here. And so once you flip this breaker, so go above it, come back into it, you can take the 50% of that breaker block and enter at the 50% with stops below, or enter at the high and stops below. If you enter at the 50%, you can get better risk to reward, and then you obviously would have targeted these highs, and then obviously the main highs. But now that that move has happened, realistically, I would like price to come up into this key 12-hour level, but we haven't done that yet. So at the moment, I'll have a look at what price might want to do. So we have taken out this key liquidity level, this liquidity sweep that occurred here. The next level we would like to target from this liquidity sweep on the 4-hour time frame will be down here. So price will want to move down into here. And from here, if we don't take out this high now, this liquidity level, then potentially something like this might occur where we take out this level and then we run for those highs. So at the moment I wait, and I'll definitely look to long down here, because this is kind of the make or break scenario at the moment, because the price, Bitcoin price, can either go down to 25k now, or we'll be looking to target 32,000. And not sure what's going to happen yet, because we go one move at a time. I don't try and predict 10 moves in advance. At the moment, the only thing that I see happening at the moment is coming down to this level here, from here. And from there, I will look to long, because realistically, I'm looking to target that key 12-hour liquidity level. Yeah, so for my entry, I will look the same model as we had down here, but it'll be probably on the 5-minute time frame to 15-minute time frame. And I'll basically look for price to make a move lower, kind of either build a bit of a triangular pattern or something like that, what the retailers like to use, go for a push lower and recover immediately, come back inside here and then continue lower. So, and that would be a breaker block there, and you could enter here like this with position stop loss like that. Or another one that I like to use is using the Fibonacci projection. If we make that a little higher, so the range is up here. You'd basically take the total range and you do this tool right here, which you can find up here. It's called the trend-based fib extension, and you go from the highs to the lows and then back up, and then buy at the level of the 618. So if this starts to form a form of liquidation, and if you want to catch a liquidity sweep, that's how. If you want to catch the exact bottom, it's a little more risky, but if you want to be a little more safe, you'd enter something along the lines of that, and you'd target these highs. So at the moment I wait, I'm expecting a push lower, and yeah, we'll see what happens. Right, let's have a look at Ethereum on the daily. So on the daily, we had this liquidity sweep down here that obviously made the market move a lot, and that was targeting this liquidity up here. It'd be that high there that we were targeting. So now we've taken out some sell side liquidity and we're pushing down, and if we drop down into a smaller time frame, we should be able to see some recent liquidations. So some key liquidity that we have swept was this high here, and that has been taken, and we have created this liquidity in here that we have taken out but haven't had a reaction from. So if I drop down to the smaller time frame, there'll probably be some form of liquidity that we are targeting, and so that would be this liquidity here. So chances are this is what we're targeting, and so what price will want to do is likely come down, back in, and then roll over. So that would work with our Bitcoin scenario. So obviously the price obviously wants to go higher to that key level, and so we have found a key level on Ethereum, and ideally it'd come up, take out this level, and roll over. And so this is one of my standard sell models that I like to use. So it looks like this. I've showed it in the other video, where you basically get price leg down, and then you build a channel up until a fair value gap, and you enter in the fair value gap, and you basically expect price to make a push lower. And so if I just draw that out here, we can see that we got some form of a channel being built, and so you can draw them however you want. That's this channel here. Either way, some form of a building of liquidity, and so price could potentially wick up above here and then continue lower. And this is coming from a larger time frame sweep. So we have a 12-hour liquidity sweep, we have a daily liquidity sweep, and an 8-hour liquidity sweep, and probably a 4-hour liquidity sweep. Yeah. So this was a very strong key level, and so at the moment I'm just expecting price to do its own thing until it comes up and takes out this level. Once we're up at these highs, we'll see if price wants to act on it. If it has some bearish closes, we can act on it, but at the moment I'm not really trading Ethereum. I'm mainly focusing on Bitcoin as I see a clearer picture. So yeah, I'll give you guys an update on whether we get this small move lower down into here. If we do, then the plan is to long down into these lows, up into here, and then potentially higher. So yeah, but at the moment we just wait and see what happens. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.